Episode 10, Part 1, Upstairs, Downstairs, Heroes Farewell, production number 1710, recording 9th, 874, take 1.
Oh, come on, get away, my girl, quickly.
Good morning, Hudson.
Good morning, my lady. I'm afraid Mrs. Bellamy is not at home.
Oh, we'll just come in for a moment. I just want to show Mr. Maitland the drawing room.
Oh, the drawing room, my lady, is...
Cheated, yes, I know. It's all right. We just want to see the proportions.
Thank you so much.
Sir.
Oh, you'd better keep your coat on, Gerald. It'll be dreadfully cold.
But, my lady, I...
It's all right, Hudson. I know the way. There. What do you think?
Well, it is quite a large room.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? Suits you perfectly.
Yes.
Oh, I know it's difficult to tell like this, but all the furniture could be taken out.
Oh, it would have to be.
Excuse me, my lady, would you care for coffee?
Oh, yes, what a good idea. Gerald?
That would be too lovely.
We'll have it up here, Hudson.
I think you will be more comfortable in the morning room, my lady.
No, we'll have it up here. Then we can go on working and planning.
My lady.
You don't think he's going to buy the house, do you?
I hope not. Yeah, what's his name, Mr. Hudson?
Mr. Maitland.
Not Gerald Maitland, the actor.
I believe Lady Prudence did call him Gerald.
I saw him once, Gregory and me. Saw him in a play, before the war. We went to a matinee and had tea in the interval. It was a comedy. It was so funny. Oh, we laughed. And he was lovely. He smoked a cigarette right on the stage.
What if he did? We still don't want him buying this house.
To the best of my belief, this house is not for sale, Mrs. Bridges.
Oh? Then what's he doing looking at the drawing room, then?
We could build a stage at this end, and then if we moved out all the furniture, got in some little gilt chairs... How many do you suppose we could seat in here? 50?
No, more than that, I should think.
2 guineas a head.
Or seat.
Oh, Gerald.
I wonder if we could get Ivor to play the piano.
Ivor Churchill?
No. Ivor Novello, the composer of Keep the Home Fires Burning.
Ah, yes.
Such a talented young man, and so beautiful. I do think talented people should be beautiful, don't you? That's what I find so depressing about D.H. Lawrence.
He's a disgraceful pacifist and married to a German wife.
Oh, worse still, he's so dreadfully ugly. No, that I think that if we're going to do this thing at all, it must be simply beautiful. The sort of thing that people will remember long after the war is over.
I'm not sure we can set our sights quite as high as that.
Oh, Hudson. Someone here? Lady Prudence and a gentleman, my lord. They're in the drawing room.
The drawing room? What on earth are they doing there?
You heard about poor Basil.
Tragic loss. Cynthia's heartbroken.
Still, at least her husband is safe.
For the moment. But nowadays, one never knows what's going to happen next.
Prudence?
Oh, Richard. We are hatching a little plot and want your approval. This is Gerald Maitland. Gerald, I don't think you've met Lord Bellamy.
How do you do? I'm afraid you must think we're taking the most terrible liberties with your beautiful drawing room.
Not at all. Rose, what time are you on duty?
2 o'clock, sir.
On duty?
Rose is a conductorette on an omnibus.
Ah, one of our unsung heroines.
Rose, you better go downstairs if you want to get something to eat before you leave.
Oh, this is dreadful. I'm afraid the furniture removing was my idea.
Quite all right, sir.
Now, what is all this about?
Well, now we were going to have it in Wimborne House, but it was bombed in that dreadful raid.
Yes, I heard.
And so many large houses have been hit as well. A lot of them in that actual raid. The Devonshires, the Yarboroughs, the Verners, the Salisburys, the Rutlands. Really, one would think the Germans had a map and were picking off the large houses one by one.
I think that's most unlikely.
Well, the result's the same. Hardly a big house left untouched. And those that are mostly turned into hospitals. We were in despair. And then I thought of you.
My dear Prudence, what exactly are you planning?
Tableau, Richard. A matinee of historical tableau in aid of the Red Cross.
Tableau.
We're getting them up among ourselves. Now, the Duchess is writing the words, and Connie and I are to be responsible for all the rest of it.
I didn't think there were any words in Tableau.
Well, you know, an accompaniment, telling people what they're seeing in rhyming couplets.
Good heavens.
We shall sell tickets at 2 guineas a head and take up a collection, so we should make quite a nice little sum for the Red Cross.
Well, should it be much simpler to ask for donations?
Oh, I know, that's Hazel's view. No one should ever have any fun over raising money. But it's so unrealistic. People are very poor these days. Except for the poor, they've never been so well off in their lives. But for the rest of us, it is very difficult to get people to put their hands in their pockets. Besides, everyone needs a little amusement.
And you think that Tableau
Oh, my
is...
dear Richard, people will always come to see their friends making fools of themselves. Oh, not that that's what we're going to do, of course, because we have our dear Gerald to advise us, and it's all going to be a great success. Now, we can borrow the drawing room, can't we?
Well, Prudence, with Hazel away,
That's the point. Hazel's away. And by the time she gets back from Eastbourne, we shall have given our little performance, made a nice little sum for the Red Cross, and given no trouble to anyone. There, that's settled. Now we can really get down to work.
Would you care to stay for lunch? I don't know what Mrs. Bridges is planning. We had sausages yesterday, so it won't be that again.
Oh, that's awfully kind, but I'm afraid I'm taking Lady Prudence to luncheon at the Ritz.
Oh, we've been working so hard all the morning. We really feel we've earned it.
Salt brisket of beef. Not much of that left, neither. Well, it's all we've got for tomorrow, except a bit of bacon.
Them dumplings was nice, Mrs. Bridges.
Soggy. That potato flour's not the same. It's no use pretending it is.
I'm off then. You're going to that lecture this afternoon, Mrs. Bridges?
I'm not sure.
Now, Mrs. Bridges, you promised the mistress.
I said I'd think about it. I don't want some lady telling me how to manage my kitchen.
Well, it might not be a lady, Mrs. Bridges. It might be a cook.
Oh, well, let her come and cook here then, if she's so clever.
Mrs. Bridges, I'm sure we all feel that with the King and Queen eating patriotic menus in Buckingham Palace...
We eat patriotic menus here. There's not a scrap of waste in this household.
Might pick up a few tips.
I've got plenty of tips of my own, thank you, without theirs.
Oh, well. Cheerio!
Cheerio. If you ask me, Rose has not been improved by her contact with the outside world.
Of course, you could send Ruby along instead.
Ruby? Oh, fat lot of good she'd be.
Ah, no. No, I don't imagine Daisy meant instead. But it might not be altogether inappropriate, Mrs. Bridges, for you to go to the War Cookery lecture accompanied by your kitchen maid.
Oh,
It might, as it were, establish your correct status.
well, yes. I suppose I could take her along with me, if you think it's my duty.
Who's to play Florence Nightingale?
Well, Dorothy promised faithfully that she would. Now she's been asked to play the Virgin Mary at the Gaiety, and she flatly refuses to do both.
To ask Dorothy to portray the Virgin Mary is like asking Henry VIII to play a celibate monk.
Perhaps that's why the idea appeals to her so much. Oh, Maud's to be Cleopatra.
Maud?
Well, she's very swarthy.
Yes. You have to shave a moustache, otherwise they'll think she's Anthony.
I thought her husband could play Anthony.
Is that the little man with the squint?
No, that's her cousin. I thought he could be Nelson. Well, he'll have a patch over one eye.
Yes, but which eye?
It does seem a pity not to use this. I wonder if I could stick silver paper over it for a Roman soldier.
Mm-hmm.
Hello, how's it going? Golly, that's very attractive.
I thought I might wear it as Lady Hamilton.
I thought this program was to be called The Hero's Farewell.
The hero's farewell to his wife, or lady love. Nelson and Lady Hamilton, Antony and Cleopatra, Christopher Columbus and Queen Isabella.
Christopher?
He's the American general.
Oh, yes, of course.
You know, in a way, I'm sorry we didn't stick to our original idea of heroines through the ages. We're so dreadfully short of men. Richard,
Oh, no, you won't get me to take part. I've rented this drawing room on Hazel's behalf, but that is all. I hope the man isn't damaging the plaster.
I think I might go to Selfridge's Basement and see if I can't find a hat I like better.
oh, now, dear, you know we said that in the interest of economy, we wouldn't buy any new costumes, but make use of what we have.
If it's really becoming, then I can wear it afterwards, and it will be an economy.
We still haven't solved our main problem. Who is to play Florence Nightingale?
Miss Georgina, what a pleasant surprise.
Hello, Hudson.
We didn't expect you till next week.
Well, I had to change leaves with the nurse who was getting married, and there wasn't time to let you know. It's nice to see you again.
Thank you, Miss Georgina.
Nurse, going on? You tell me you've been bombed.
No, Miss Georgina, Lady Prudence has, if I may so express it, struck again.
What's going on this time? No, don't tell me. I'll find out for myself.
want your curtains to draw to and fro across here, then?
No, no.
Well, people are going to be dressing in there.
Oh, I thought you wanted to run your curtains to and fro.
Yes, but in front of the stage, you stupid man, not there. No.
Look, lady, if you're not satisfied with my work, you go and get somebody else.
No, come back. Wretched man. The working classes have got completely out of hand. We shall never be able to get them to behave themselves again when the war's over.
We shall have to get him back, Prudence. You know the trouble we had getting him. We shall have to bribe him.
How can we? He's got more money than we have. Oh, you better run after him, Connie, and be simply charming.
Well, I'll try. Oh, so sorry. We've lost our carpenter.
Oh, hello, Georgie. The very person we need.
I'm not much good at carpentry, I'm afraid.
You can be Florence Nightingale.
Is someone ill?
No, in our little performance.
Oh, Lady Prudence, I couldn't possibly. Well, I can't act to save my life, and I never could learn lines.
Oh, you don't have to. All you do is just stand there in a rather dim light, holding a lamp. Tableau, you see.
But it's all right. He's just gone to have his dinner. I gave him 2 shillings and told him to have some beer with it. How much do you suppose beer costs?
2 pence, dear. But never mind. We found our Florence Nightingale. Isn't that wonderful?
I really think that is the most shocking thing I've read in the newspaper since the war began.
Ooh, what is, Mr. Hudson?
Most households have followed their Majesty's example and are practicing voluntary food rationing. Unfortunately, there are many instances of servants refusing to work in households which practice voluntary rationing.
Oh, well, I suppose that is wrong.
It certainly is, Daisy.
But like Eddie says, I'll keep his part of our wages.
That's as may be, but we are all in this together. And I hope the day will never come when servants in this country refuse to do their patriotic duty.
All right, Ruby, you can bring it in now.
Oh, you've got something special for us today, have you, Mrs. Bridges?
we have indeed, Mr. Hudson.
Oh, I thought you might have found us a wee rabbit.
Oh, rabbits seem to have disappeared.
My driver raises rabbits. He used to sell them. But when they put a controlled price on, he said it wasn't worth it. Now he eats them himself.
Well, I'm sure this is... What is it, Mrs. Bridges?
Win the war pie.
Well, that certainly is... That certainly is.
Thank you, Ruby.
Don't we get no vegetables? The vegetables are all in it.
Ruby,
Thank you, Mr. Woodson.
for what we are about to receive, may the Lord make us truly thankful.
Amen.
Well, see what you all think of it. I don't expect any of you can guess what's in it. Scraps of fatty bacon, leftover vegetables, stale bread, oatmeal, and vegetable broth. All things I would have thrown out in the normal way. Oh, I am glad we went to that lecture. Now we can all have a thoroughly wholesome meal and know that we're doing our patriotic duty.
Right.
I suppose the Crusader must wear a breastplate. We really need this for Anthony.
Can't we borrow some armour from the Tower of London or somewhere?
Oh, they're rather heavy. Perhaps if Anthony wore this tunic and had a sword, we really need a round shield.
Oh, when we was children, Miss Georgina, we used to use saucepan lids. Got some big ones downstairs.
I simply cannot have Anthony saying farewell to Cleopatra carrying a saucepan lid.
We wouldn't look like a saucepan lid, m'lady. He could use the copper lid. What does that look like, Daisy?
it's round.
No, saucepan lids would be better.
I'll run and fetch them, Rosemary.
Oh, but
Anything
I've got-
that looks like a shield, then we can decide. Daisy, give me a hand with this. I wanted to drape, but I don't know how to do it.
Ruby, was there any of that salt biscuit of beef left?
Yes, Mrs. Bridges, just a scrap.
It's supposed to be cheating to put it in a vegetable pie. Still, I think we'll just pop it in.
There were 3 dumplings left as well.
Oh, well, we can mince them all up together.
They want some saucepan lids upstairs. Give us a hand, Ruby.
I'm busy.
Ruby, how dare you speak to a superior in the household in that tone of voice? You just remember your place, McGill.
She's working for me, Mr. Hudson. And Rose has no right to give her orders.
Here, take these. What's the time? Oh, Lord, I'm going to be late. You'll have to take them up. And they want the lid of the copper in the drawing room.
Rose, I can't go upstairs.
A kitchen maid in the drawing room? I've never heard of such a thing.
You tell me.
Ruby, come back. back here. Where have you got to go? Come here, at once. Take these. I'll see who's at the front door.
But Mr. Hudson!
One of the ladies, I suppose.
This time, she can't... Oh.
Prudence, what is all this I hear about the rape of Belgium?
Oh, good morning, Duchess.
Good morning. Who is this?
Georgina Worsley, Marjorie Bellamy's niece.
She won't do for Belgium either.
No, she's playing Florence Nightingale.
Oh, too young. Still, I suppose she'll do. But I absolutely refuse to allow Celia Bedlington to play Belgium.
Oh?
We need an innocent, open face. Celia looks like a ferret. Well, all those Bedlingtons do. Belgium must be represented by a simple peasant girl. The whole point of the scene is the contrast between the gallant British Tommy and his tender womanly wife and the brutal Hun with... Who's playing the brutal Hun?
Prudence is.
Well, we're rather short of men. But I thought...
Yes. Well, we can keep your back to the audience. Just an impression of jackboots of evil, and beneath your upraised hand, innocent and helpless, a simple country girl, her face full of terror and dismay.
When I give the signal, the curtain should flow across the stage with a kind of elegant swish. And now.
Oh, should I put a drop of oil in it, sir?
Anything you can think of.
There, Miss Georgina, how's that? Well, Daisy, I'm sure I look just like the matron at Guy's, and no one ever mistook her for Florence Nightingale.
But where is everyone?
Well, some of them are coming this afternoon.
But that's useless. You realize we've never yet had the whole cast together at any one time. Now, we really must all work together so that the production flows.
Well, at least every party's cast now.
Well, yes, except... Georgina, don't you know anyone who could play the Crimean soldier?
Well, I'm having lunch with Philip Hanning, so...
It is, boy. Excellent. Bring him along.
But I thought he'd been sent back to France.
Yes, but he was wounded again. He's out of hospital now, but... And I know they thought he might have to lose a leg.
Oh, that doesn't matter at all. All he has to do is to lie there and look adoringly up at you.
Oh, dear, if he does that, I'm sure I shall laugh.
Oh, no, you won't. When you hear the Duchess's beautiful words, you won't even think of it.
Are you in to dinner, Rose?
Yes, I am, worst luck.
Faggots, Mrs. Bridges.
Certainly not. I've never served faggots in this household.
Well, they look like faggots.
Meatless rissoles.
How can you make meatless rissoles?
Onion, oatmeal and vegetable broth.
I'd rather have faggots.
Rose! I'm sure Mr. Hudson approves. Oatmeal being his national dish.
Yes, Mrs. Bridges, but not customarily in Rissel Farm.
Cabbage.
Potato substitute.
How can you make potato substitute? Ground rice, flaked maize and milk.
Quite right, Ruby.
But only a little while ago they was asking us to use potatoes instead of flour.
Ah, but now there's a shortage of potatoes. So they're asking all the better off households to leave them for the poor. So, now we have another really patriotic meal and full of nourishment too.
That's
Oh,
yours.
yes.
Celia, that's yours, dear. Maud, yes. Cleopatra down there.
I bicycled all the way from Piccadilly. Most invigorating. And much cheaper than an omnibus.
Pleasanter too. Have you heard about poor Lady Craven? No. She thought she ought to take an omnibus for the sake of economy. Got on a Baker Street and sat next to a woman who smelt awful. So she said to her, "My good woman, have you a bath at home?" And the woman said, "Yes, but I can't let you use it because there's 10 of us using it already."
Mavis always was a fool. And suppose the woman had said, "No, I haven't a bath. Can I come and use yours?" Where would she have been then? Ah, clever. What are we going to do now?
Well, I thought, Duchess, we would go through the whole programme in ordinary clothes, and then tomorrow we'll have a dress rehearsal.
What is that?
A trial performance in costume, Duchess.
Oh, I see.
And Mrs. Patrick Campbell is coming to give us all advice on makeup.
Is everyone here?
Yes,
I'm sorry, Willie. We had lunch at the Queen's and it took rather a long time.
We didn't have a lot to eat. It just took a long time. The waitress had varicose veins, and Georgina made the mistake of asking her about them. We got a bulletin with every course.
Oh, well, never mind. Now you are here, you're going to help us, Philip, aren't you?
Well,
Now, you know the Duchess and Lady Constance. And this is Mr. Gerald Maitland, who's going to make our little performance look quite professional.
Mrs. Bridges, they want Ruby upstairs now.
Oh, you don't look much, but still, I suppose you'll have to do.
I don't want to do it, Mrs. Bridges.
You'll do as you're told, my girl. And mind, when you get up into the drawing room, no showing off in front of the ladies and gentlemen. Just say, yes, milady, and no, milady.
Yes, Mrs. Bridges.
All right, I'll get along with you. And pick your feet up. Ruby in one of their tableaus. Fancy that. Oh, they're having her in moving pictures next.
Mr. Hudson, her ladyship said, would you step upstairs too, because she wants a word with you.
Now, Major Hanning, if you would just lie down on the mattress. Where's the mattress?
Oh, it's all right. I'll just lie down.
No, not like that. Up on your elbow. Now, Miss Worsley, where's your lamp?
Oh, my lamp.
No, hold it up a little, please. Just a little more. And then take one step back. No, we don't want to have your back to the audience. Turn a little to your left. Your left.
Sorry.
Duchess?
That girl doesn't look like a crusader's wife at all, more like a foxy dunce.
Duchess,
Yes?
if you would just say the words.
Oh, yes, of course. He breathes his last on Balaclava Height, cheered at the end by what... I beg your pardon?
It should be Balaclava Heights, not Hyde.
Well, actually, it should be Scutari. The hospital was at Scutari.
It wouldn't rhyme.
But still, if he's in hospital and Florence and I...
Yes, I really think we must leave the words to the author. If you would just pose.
Yes, of course.
And Major Henning, would you look adoringly up at her? Yes. Miss Wesley, try to look sympathetic, full of compassion.
Right.
He breathes his last on Balaclava Height.
Right, and I am pleased to see you.
The light's still off, Mr. Woodson.
So very much damage.
Another bomb fell at Hyde Park Corner.
Oh.
Quite a number of people were killed and injured.
Oh, dear.
They left the shelter before the all clear. That was just when the bomb fell.
Oh, I expect them devils did it on purpose. Anyway, you sit down and Ruby and I'll get you a nice cup of tea. Daisy, give Ruby a hand with them cups.
Yes, Mrs. Bridges.
Give you a hand, love.
Oh, that's better. Mr. Hudson? Mr. Hudson? Are you all right? Eddie?
Mr. Hudson? Mr. Hudson? Hey, look, he's been covered in blood. Look. He's been hit, Daisy. Quick, go and tell his lordship.
I've laid breakfast in the study. Miss Georgina isn't stirring, but the master's up. Oh. The master said he's going to find out which hospital it is. Don't worry, Mrs. Bridges. He'd come round before they took him away. Mrs. Bridges!
Whatever is it now?
Mr. Hudson! Oh,
Glad to see you, Mr. Hudson.
Thank you, Edward.
I can't believe it. Why aren't you in hospital?
Oh, there was no need for that, Mrs. Bridges. Besides, all the beds were needed for the more serious casualties.
Let me help you with the coat.
Oh, thank you, Edward.
Oh, your poor arm.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with my arm, Mrs. Bridges. They just said I should wear a sling for a week or 10 days to make sure the bleeding didn't start up again.
Where exactly was you hurt, Mr. Hudson?
Oh, it's a graze from a piece of shrapnel along my ribs, just below the shoulder blade. I thought I felt a blow there when I was helping to get a woman out of the rubble.
I think he was a real trump to go on the way he did after you've been hurt.
I just did my duty, Edward, as you have done yours.
Well, now, would you like some breakfast?
No, thank you. I had something at the hospital. What are you giving us for our dinner today, Mrs. Bridges? Win-the-wall pie?
No. I'm going to ask Rose to slip round to her driver and get one of his rabbits. We'll have rabbit stew for our dinner. That'll set you up.
Oh. That's right. Clear away the glass and down there, Daisy. And then come over here when you're finished that area.
Hudson, Rose, tell me you were back. I'm delighted to see you.
Oh, thank you, my lord.
Sure you should be in bed.
No, my lord. No need for that. They said at the hospital that I'd lost rather a lot of blood, and that is why I was overcome.
Well, you must take things easily.
I shall feel a great deal better, my lord, if we can get the house looking more habitable before the mistress sees it.
Quite sure Mrs. Bellamy won't worry too much about the condition of the house once she knows that we are all safe. Well, if you really feel fit for it, perhaps we can go upstairs and look at the damage so we can decide what's best to be done.
Certainly, my lord.
Now,
How about
before
Miss
I'm
Judson?
cleared, I think you will advise to have it all boarded up. What about
Mr. Hudson? It's a telegram. The mistress. James.
Regret to inform you, Major the Honourable J.H. Bellamy, M.C. Missing, believed killed.